Z. This episode focuses on Aurora. Mother Mages, eat your damned heart out. Alright, so this is a cool series that I've played about doing in some previous Paragon streams, where I'm going to do a stream for each excuse me, each character in Paragon, alphabetically. We'll look at the character, we'll look at some skins, their abilities, just give a rundown of what's there, and then we'll craft a deck together, and then I'll play just a quick match with the AI, just to ensure that I get the character. In an ideal world, I would have a capture card and be able to just queue up in PvP until I get the game I need for footage, and just play the other games. But where I'm doing a live stream, because I don't have that or the money to start that, this is what I got. So we're probably going to be able to play against the AI to hopefully ensure we get the character we want to play. And today's character is Aurora. Aurora is one of the newest characters added into the game. She was added just before Shimby was. Her master skin is actually really cool. This is the first time I've actually gone in and looked at it, and I really like that look. It reminds me a lot of the Countess's master skin, which is really cool. So Aurora is definitely an awesome character. I'm not the biggest fan of her appearance in terms of her design, but that's more of just the fact that Paragon released 3 female characters, all wielding one-handed weapons in them. So I just feel like I'm being drowned in the same sort of aesthetic. Even if each character's personal style is extremely different, the fact that they're all wielding the same style of weapon, even if we're not the exact same type of weapon, it just feels samey. But that's beside the point. So these are her abilities. We have her Frozen Sword, which does some basic damage. Then we have the Frozen Simulacrum? Jesus, what a fucking word for wordful? Whatever. Alright? Shut up, me. Keep talking. So this is on the PlayStation 4. Sorry, I don't know what button this correlates to on a PC. This is the right bumper. This is an excellent ability. It gives her a lot of utility and a lot of mobility. So Aurora leaps into the air and a set distance away based on where she is moving. And it leaves behind a frozen statue of herself. This statue pulls aggro from minions and towers, and the tower will actually focus that statue over minions, which is really important to know. So it's really good because, one, it'll let you get away from a difficult situation. That's one thing Aurora is amazing at. She is probably the most mobile character in the game, which makes her very good for support and very good in the offlane, in my opinion. It's kind of hard to play offlane against the AI because they've been broken for a while, and they just 3-man the offlane, which is a lot to deal with. I don't know if that's been fixed in the most recent patch this past Tuesday. We'll probably find out. So this ability is really good. It does have a rather large cooldown. Next up we have Glacial Charge. This allows Aurora to charge forward in a straight line, creating a path of ice as she goes. Anyone she hits directly with it takes ability damage and is pushed to the side. This is really good for Aurora because, again, it adds to her mobility. It allows her to go further, a crazy distance, honestly. And she's able to use this to go up vertically. So you can use this to get up to a platform up above. And your allies can even run up this as well. And if you notice the enemies are running on it, you can activate it yourself and destroy the bridge, or the ice pathway, which will prevent them from running on it. This is really cool to get into some really fun places. And another thing that I think might be overlooked is that this is an excellent support ability. Because if you are, for example, using Aurora as a support character in the safe lane, you can use this to protect your carry. If you see that the enemy's offlaner is really pushing on your carry, and you don't think your carry is going to be able to get away, especially if you're dealing with someone ranged, using Glacial Charge to a high point will effectively block the lane, because it doesn't create like an Iceman style path with no ground. It goes from the ground up, which means that you can actually use this to block the lane, block enemy movement completely, and trap people, which is amazing. Normally, if you just dash behind someone, yeah, it'll be a minor nuisance. If you hit them, they'll get bumped, but they can just jump over it. But if you target somewhere high, you'll actually put a wall of ice beside that person, which makes this an absolute great utility ability for ganks, for protection. It's just, I really like it. Next we have the Hoarfrost. So Aurora creates a circle of Hoarfrost on the ground around her that deals a moderate amount of ability damage and roots the target for 1.25 seconds, which scales with levels, it looks like. And this is the sort of bread and butter of her damage besides her ultimate. Her other two abilities are rather lackluster in terms of actual damage, though her melee is above average, I would say. Hoarfrost is really good. This is where her support really begins to shine, because with this she can easily set up ganks for a carry. If you slide in with Glacial Charge and get behind someone, then you can Hoarfrost the ground and prevent them from escaping. That puts them in a situation where your carry can just shoot the crap out of them, which makes her really good for helping to feed your carry in the early game, so that when you hit that mid and late game, your carry has an advantage over the opponent's carry, and your team just snowballs out of control. In a team fight, this is excellent to catch, especially if you manage to get behind enemy lines, which you should be able to do as Aurora because of her crazy mobility. To lock down the movement of the enemy backline, or if you're charging in as like an off tank, excuse me. Oh, felt that coming. If you are playing Aurora as an off tank, this is an excellent ability, where you can get in on the enemy tank immediately, Hoarfrost around them, and unless they're playing Chimera or Greystone, I think, they're probably going to be stuck in your circle, and that's a problem, because that tank wants to push through your tanks and get to your back lane to make sure their shots are on him so that his back lane can kill everybody. But by pulling him into your Hoarfrost, or even rooting him in place, it prevents him from getting into the position he wants to. Again, a good offensive ability with excellent support that instead of giving Aurora mobility, prevents her enemy from having mobility. So, Aurora is a really good character, and I honestly think she's not brokenly strong, but I think she's definitely one of the stronger characters right now in Paragon. Especially when we consider her ultimate, which is Cryoseism. I believe that's how that's pronounced. So, Aurora freezes an area, dealing a slow to everyone in there for a few seconds. After 2 seconds, so the slow begins on them, and they slow, and then after 2 seconds they freeze solid, and then explode, dealing energy damage, which isn't that big of a deal. The fact that they get frozen in place for a full second is important, because you basically just stunned everyone in a fairly decent AoE for 2 seconds. But then they exploded and did AoE damage, and then enemies who get hit by the AoE will then explode as well. So if you manage to catch an enemy team and a wave of minions freeze, there's going to be chain explosions everywhere. You're going to end up dealing a lot more damage than what this ability says on paper, if you manage to catch your opponents in the right position. And because you're so ridiculously mobile as Aurora, you're hopefully going to be able to get into position to do that rather easily. So with Aurora, I definitely like building a good bit of mana, because when I played her when she first released, I did find that I would run out of mana fairly often. I like building a good bit of health, a little bit of power, and a bit of attack speed. And in the late game, I like to build a little bit of cooldown reduction. Because again, some of her abilities, like Hoarfrost has a 14-second cooldown. I believe that her jumping ability has like an 18-second cooldown. And I think the Glacial Charge may even be on a 20-second cooldown. I can't quite see the screen. I'm a little bit away from it. But I like the idea of getting cooldown reduction on her. Even though cooldown reduction, in my opinion, was heavily nerfed when Paragon was released, I think it's an excellent late game card to get for her, just to add a bit of boost to her mobility. So you sort of need to decide how you're going to play her. If you're going to be playing safely and support Aurora, you may need to focus a little less on health and defense and a little bit more on mana so you're able to last a bit longer. But I honestly feel if you're playing off-lane Aurora, where you're basically playing an off-tank, you definitely need to focus health. Because while she's very mobile, she's also a melee character. Hoarfrost range is very limited, and her Frozen Sword is to get a melee weapon. So, yes, she's very mobile, but the problem is you want to save these to escape a fight. If you're using these to engage on a fight, you better be getting a kill quickly, or you're going to find yourself trapped. And I'll admit, I'm not quite good enough with the character yet to always make the right choice on that. But we're here to learn. This series is all about a learning experience to try and help me get better at the game, to actually sit down and look at every character's abilities and try and come up with a deck that works for that character. Will it always work? Probably not. Should you take my advice with a grain of salt? You know what? You're an adult. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Make your own informed decisions. If you see a character that I'm talking about and you're like, that's cool, I don't know if this guy knows what he's talking about, check out another video. I appreciate it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go into our decks and we are going to make an Aurora deck. And then we are going to play a quick game with her. So for our prime, because I plan to build Aurora to play in the off lane, I like going with the Centurion. Anything to add a little bit more beefiness to the character. So right off the bat, we're going to pick up this health potion. And I believe we're going to pick up 2 health tokens. This is going to make us be a little bit more survivable in the early game. And we're going to be able to stay in a little bit longer. I would also consider bringing in Bump Juice, because it heals the health instantly, which is very good. But I've actually found that I prefer the health potion because I like the healing over time. That could just be me making a bad play because I'm not as experienced as I could be. But we'll see. So right now, what's recommended for her is health, mana regen, mana, and basic penetration. Which is fair. You definitely don't want ability penetration on Aurora, because again, your abilities aren't really where your damage comes from. But the first card we're going to build is a ward. This is super important to Aurora's mobility, because while she's extremely mobile, which is, you know, very, very powerful, she's still limited by vision, right? You're only going to be able to react to something with enough time to get away, really, if you have some idea that it's coming. So you want to build a ward first, and the way I like building my wards is a 6-point card. It leaves me room to build the rest of my cards without worrying about a ward, and it leaves room for some fatter cards later, which will give nice bonuses. The ward we pick up, it's going to have 1 health and 2 strikes, so this card's going to end up giving us about 150 health at the end, plus a good bit of damage. So the next thing we're going to look at is some mana cards, because I honestly think that's what we need to fill first. Now, I believe there is a card that I do enjoy. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Pendulum of the Lords. So this gives health and mana regeneration. And again, having mana is extremely important, as is health. So we're going to build this card to have 12 full points into it. Which gives us 9 points to play with. So we are going to put 1 mana, and then we are going to put 1 health, and then I think we're also going to slap in 1 chrono. Yeah. So this card's just going to be all around super good. It's going to give us a bunch of mana, it's going to give us a bunch of health, and it's going to give us a really good mana regen. Next, I like picking up Ring of the Domina to deal an extra 10% damage to minions, and it also lets us buff our health a little bit more. We would like to keep this card at a 10 cost, in my opinion. So that gives us 5 points, or 6 points to play with, which I normally end up doing with 2 mana and a health. So already our defense is getting there. Our mana's still not 100% where I would like it to be. So what we're going to pick up is, I'm just trying to find the card here. Here we go, a Fountain Spike. So we're going to pick up this card, and we want this card at a 12 as well. So what we're actually going to do is pick up a Major Cast, and an Advanced Mana. That's going to be our key offensive card, and we're going to pick it up after our Pendulum of the Lords. Because we want this for the survivability and the sustain early, and then we want to rotate into this card later. Now I think that it's pretty crucial that, because this is a more expensive card, to have something that fills an earlier gap. So that in the early game we'll be able to have something a little bit stronger. So what I'm thinking is we're actually going to pick up a Madstone Gem. This Madstone Gem is going to be just an early game purchase to deal some bonus damage after our Pendulum of the Lords. Then I think that we should probably move on to some basic pen, because I think that's pretty important. And I really like Rustbreaker. I consider that a pretty decent card. And we want this card to be at 10 or 9. It's really up to preference at this point. So we're going to pick up 1 Major Penetration, and then 2 level 2 Strikes. We're going to pick up 2 of these. So the reason I like picking up 2 is that it adds options to my deck. So if I'm playing against a very tanky team, and I notice that a lot of them are actually building protection to basic attack damage, I'm not going to be dealing as much damage to those people, even if I pick up a little bit of extra power. So at that point, I could forgo one of my more defensive cards, like the Ring of the Domina, and pick up a Rustbreaker instead, and it'll let me fulfill my role a little bit more. I'm also a fan of picking up a Siphon Shard at 10 points, just in case I'm having sustain issues. This card will make it so that I'll be able to gain health every time I swing, which may not seem like all that important, but I really enjoy having one of these in the deck to pick up towards the mid or end game, because she's so mobile that moving between lanes is rather easy for her, especially getting through the jungle. And because of Hoarfrost dealing decent AoE damage, I think it's really easy to clear minion waves and camps with her, and that's an excellent way to get healing off of those as you move from fight to fight. So after all that, I think what I really want is just a little bit more defense in case I need it. And so what we have to think of as Aurora, the issue we're probably going to have is melee fighters. You would think ranged, but you can usually get away from ranged with your mobility. The problem is it's going to be fighters who have mobility abilities as well that lock you down and stun you. such as Chimera or a Rampage who can hit you with a rock and then jump on you. The characters like that might give you an issue because you may have already used your mobility abilities. Fuck, that's a weird thing to say. To get away from a carry in the background or a mage, and then one of their guys comes out from the side and starts wailing on you. And because your cooldowns are pretty long, it's good to have a defensive card. I do like getting the cooldown reduction though. You know what, I think we're going to pick up the cooldown reduction. So I think what one we're going to get is going to be the Chronomancer Disc instead of the Nick. Now we want this card at 10, so we're going to pick up a Cast and a Chrono, as well as a basic Spark. Alright, so that's a pretty cool deck. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try that right away in an AI match, and I make no promises to be amazing at her. I just promise to try my best, and hopefully it does decent. We're going to be doing this. I don't know the frequency of these videos, because at the moment I'm still away from my regular streaming setup, which is again why the camera isn't on, instead you're looking at William's pretty face. Once I am back to that though, I might be doing it every other day, which I think would be a reasonable amount. I think that would be really good. So we're going to be playing this match as Aurora. Hopefully nobody else snags her first. Hopefully we can find a match. I don't know why there's so many of these that are just not going through. There we go. And we want to offlane with her. Awesome, we managed to get her no issues. I don't know if her team is going to draft well enough for us to win, even against the AI. We're kind of squishy. We sort of became our team's main tank there. That's not a really good thing. I don't know who is going to be running our jungle. But that's one of the problems I have with Paragon right now, is people will just draft whatever they want, at least at the lower tiers, regardless of team composition. And you might say, well, Sil, you're drafting that way as well. You came into this wanting to play Aurora, and you just picked Aurora. To be fair, we didn't have a better offlane showing. All we had at that point was a Twin Blast, I believe. So I'm totally fine taking that. I feel totally vindicated. So we're going to pick this up. We are going to pick up a health potion and our 2 health tokens. And for Frost, we are going to head to the offlane. Now, so this could potentially go many different ways. First, if the AI is still broken, basically, the offlane might get swamped with the AI. If that happens, she's really not all that good. Because, again, I'm a melee character. So if I'm fighting against 3 people, even AI, I'm going to get swamped. And there's just nothing I'm going to be able to do as a melee fighter. Because in order to engage with them, I'm going to have to move into, like, the danger zone. Especially against the AI, who are able to lock on and sort of shoot at will, right? Because they don't actually aim, they're a bot, right? So they're programmed to hit their target. There we go, we got the root, got the kill. Fall back, pop our healing potion. I'm actually getting a little bit of stuttery lag. I'm very sorry about that. Again, this isn't my regular fiber op internet, so... Ah, crap, that's really shitty. I don't think anything else is going on in the house to be using the internet right now. Alright. Well, if I do the second one of these videos here, I will try to plug in directly to their internet, which is within my capabilities of doing. I just don't have the system set up for that right now. It is currently using the wireless. And of course, fixing that would improve the quality of the connection. But I haven't been able to really play Paragon since I came to this location. Uh, basically because there's really no time to play a possible 40-minute match without getting interrupted. The only reason I'm able to tonight is because the friends I'm staying with are out at a movie, so there's really no chance of me getting in the way. So we're going to need the back here, and just to show an example, see, we just shut off that part of the lane there, right? So if our carry here, our Twin Blast, had fallen back, that would have actually protected him from phase shots, if he managed to get around it. But again, I mean, something like that will only work if the ally is working with your positioning as well. And that's just something that comes with teamwork, and the more experienced the player is, the more easily they're going to be able to react to teammates doing things like that, in my opinion. We're super low mana, but I really don't want to back. There we go, until we can get the card points. So we're just going to let our carry know that we'll be right back, and we'll get right in there. The Fae is a really good target to go up against as Aurora, because she's just not mobile. She's definitely a target who can get killed easily. Normally I would rush right back to left lane, but it actually looks like mid's getting pushed a little bit. So we're gonna rotate over to mid here, see if we can assist with a gank, and then rotate back to left lane. Alright. We managed to deal a bit of damage there, that'll at least push them off of Shimby for a while. And we're going to be able to use our healing potion to heal back up, get back into our lane, and help Twin Blast. However, Iggy chased us, and the gadget chased us. So that's really good for middle. For some reason, the two AI both chased us. I could have dropped a ward in there to see that they were following us, but I'd actually saw them on the minimap come up behind me, so I was fairly certain it was happening. Alright, we're gonna pick up our last of our 3 abilities. I believe the AI are also drawn to it. I don't know if that's for fixed. Caught her in it. And get the kill for Twin Blast. Perfect. Pop your healing potion. That's exactly what you need to be doing as Aurora as a support. Now, normally we would be in this lane on our own, but Twin Blast is here and he's helping out, which is good. Because we're against the AI, and honestly, the AI aren't anywhere near as challenging as real players. But he's definitely doing the right work. We're setting him up, rooting characters in place, so that Twin Blast can land those hard-hitting auto attacks, or double shots, or whatever he's using at the moment. And we're going to be able to do a little bit of damage to this tower, then we need to bail. Alright, we need to get in. I am out of mana, so I do have to let him know that we are falling back. And it looks like he took down that tower with that wave of minions. Hopefully he'll get out of there before they kill him. We're gonna run right back in. Nah, he wasn't able to get away. He should have pulled back a bit earlier. I did let him know that I was backing, but he just didn't seem to care. Which is fair. I mean, we are against the AI, but as I've always felt that you need to treat playing the AI as if you were playing a team of players, because that's the only way you're going to improve, right? Like, I'm trying to use this to practice characters and abilities so that when I play against players, I will be able to be effective. And the AI really are programmed, I don't feel, to be that much of a threat. I definitely think, just to mention what we just did there, taking the river camp, I think Aurora is an absolute perfect candidate for most river camps. The paint or purple buff, which allows her to go invisible, is just phenomenally strong because she's already so mobile. So being able to go invisible and get around enemies is perfect. We did miss with our Hoarfrost there, but we were able to help lower her down with the black buff. And again, her auto attacks deal a decent amount of damage, even though I haven't put too much into power yet. So with black buff, even getting in and hitting Faye 2 or 3 times is definitely going to allow us to deal a lot of damage quickly. The only one that I would argue probably isn't that good for her is red buff, because her abilities deal such a lackluster amount of damage that giving them an ability buff just isn't that useful. I don't see anyone in our right lane. I think they might have been killed. So I'm actually gonna run over there and try and clean that up. Prevent that tower from going down. I would prefer to be mid helping, or making sure that Twin Blast in the left lane can get more kills. But where we have a really weird comp, I really need to go where I'm needed, not where I want to be, basically. So we might be able to get this tower down here before the minions are killed. It looks like it. Yep. Awesome. And we have our ultimate, which means we're able to rotate north. Or, mid. Just called north mid. Notify. Tactics. Ultimate ready. Well, see, that was one of the weird sort of bugs that she has. I've noticed a lot of bugs in the game. Surrounding her, ice path. Just not working. Glitching out and putting her inside of it, or doing something like that where it spawns and I slide alongside of it instead of in it. For some reason, I'm not sure why. I mean, I can understand that it's a very unique sort of ability in a game that didn't have an ability like that before. And I can see why that would cause issues with the game. Especially where it affects the terrain, in my opinion. I think that's probably what causes the most problems. But we're doing really good. We have a lot of kills, we have a lot of assists. We're not so hot on the minion kills, but that's fine. We were in lane with a carry, which means he should have been getting the assists anyways. I'm still gonna pick up pendulums on the lords first, because I honestly think that it's just a really good starting card for us. After that, we want to go into the Madstone Gem and then either pick up Siphon or Rustbreaker, sell the Madstone Gem, and then move into our more offensive card. Which I believe is a spear. The Riftmaster Spear. We're just gonna zone that Iggy a little bit. Try and stay out of his oil. And we want to be sure to be putting wards down. Letting people know that left lane needs to be defended. It looks like our Twin Blast is currently at base. If he comes down here, we should be fine. Yeah, that's Sparrow. Alright. So we were trying to cut off her escape there, which worked. Then we're going to use this to get around in front of her. I missed because I suck. But that's alright. With Arrow Sparrow with us, we were able to get the kill. That looked like it was more of an issue with the internet causing the lag spikes where I would be on the wrong side of her to land the hit. Oh well. I mean, you can't win them all. Is she hitting that? Yeah, it looks like it. And I mean, I can't really blame my friends. I mean, it's not like they normally have to deal with a streamer playing in their house, right? Oh, I need to get out. Woo! But see, we went dangerously low there. Like, I would argue lower than we ever should. And we're able to just evacuate because we didn't engage with our mobility skills. We saved those for an inevitable retreat. Alright? You should be saving those moves to get away from a situation that's dangerous, instead of using them to engage on a situation and getting yourself killed. They did get our first middle tower though. It's alright, we got the kill on Iggy and we're gonna be able to get away from Gadget. I don't know if she's still chasing me, it doesn't look like it. However, left lane needs to be defended.
An allied tower is under attack.
Alright, we need to get out. If the rest of my team were to engage there, we would have actually managed to get the kill. On probably both of them. As long as there was one of my teammates there to body block for me, to take hits instead of me, I would have been able to stay in and use my ultimate on them to a bit more effect. Now we're losing mid. See, this is the problem. Aurora's an absolutely fine off tank, but she's not built like Rampage or Steel or Greystone. She just doesn't have the raw survivability that an actual tank has. And that's an issue because our team just did not draft something that has any survivability to it. However, we're going to be able to push mid here really hard, which is excellent. I sort of wasted that Hoarfrost though. I should have waited. And I'm aware of that. That's my bad. So what should be happening is one of our Twin Blasts, or Twin Blast or Sparrow, should be soloing that right lane. And they should be taking out that tier 2 tower. But the minions weren't bumped up enough to do it, and the AI, I guess, is still just abandoning that. However, we should be able to take the tier 2 with this. However, we are in Gadget's ultimate, and we need to step out of that. I want to talk about something that's bad for your health. Being inside Gadget's ultimate for its full duration is basically suicide. Good, she's on us. We can just get away from her. Real easy. That was a good kill. Normally, I wouldn't want to take the red buff, because again, I think it's probably the worst buff for Aurora, but I really wanted the mana regen. So river buffs are awesome, because they give you a ton of mana regen. And honestly, that's just really good. Like, we're back to almost full mana. Yeah. And we haven't even built our mana regen cards yet. That's just with the power of the river camps. So what we want to do is we want to run ahead here really fast, so we can shut down this oncoming wave of minions with Hoarfrost. Oh, Shimby's here, making a lot of noise with our wolves, healing up. Good. When we get to Shimby, that'll be something we look at, because it was something I overlooked when the character was released. There we go. We rooted them into our ultimate. They're going to explode on each other, which is perfect. However, I am personally very low. But with those two AI dead, I think we're pretty safe here. Hopefully some of our guys will go and defend mid lane. Oh, okay, I gotta get out. This might kill me. Oh, ho, ho. That was close. Gadget deals a lot of damage. But we're gonna lose that middle tower, I'm sure. It feels like we're a few people short. Like, I'm not seeing what they're doing on the map for some reason. Either way, it looks like we managed to keep the, which is very important. We're gonna easily get the gank on this Iggy. We're gonna trap him in the corner here with us. Good, he's dead. We're gonna take this green buff here for the shield, because it doesn't look like anyone on our team is doing it. See, for some reason they don't aggro to it, and they just completely ignore it. That's another weird thing that I honestly don't think was intended for her. Alright, we have the shield. We should not be killing these guys. We should be pushing mid lane. And that's just what we're gonna do. No, I'm gonna get left.
An allied tower is under attack.
So yeah, you can definitely see how crazy nimble she is, how good her ultimate is at locking down multiple enemies. And it freezes minions as well and causes chain explosions with that. So we just shut down that whole minion wave, killed the Fae like it was nothing. And because we're able to root minions, we're really able to mess up the flow of a minion wave, which is extremely important for Aurora to be doing if you're trying to assist with the lane. Being able to root a minion wave on approach is extremely powerful. And there aren't many characters who can do that. However, the enemy Spearow is here, and I don't have support, so I'm gonna need to back up a little bit. Because even though I'm higher level than her, without my ultimate, I just won't have the damage to deal with her. Not yet. Once we have the fully built Madstone Gem, I would feel much more confident in that. The enemy team has a Grux? I haven't seen that. Huh. I would normally be fine fighting a Grux, but 1v1ing him right now is dangerous because we're so low. Now, if he continues to fight me in a wave of minions, that's a different story. And that's how the different story ends up. Fighting an Aurora in a wave of minions is really bad for you. You should never do it, because if she roots you in those minions, they will just devastate you. So we're gonna pick this up and fully finish it right off the bat. So our power just boosted up by a full 36 points, which is really strong. And shortly after we get back into the battle, we're gonna have our ultimate again, which is going to allow us to once again set up for those nice, easy kills that Aurora's really enjoy. Easy kill in the fray, and at this point in the game, Hoarfrost is actually going to start dealing a decent amount of damage. Especially where, against AI at least, we're beginning to overlevel our opponents. So they're just not going to be able to sustain it, because I'm going to be gaining so many more card points than they are in theory. And we still haven't died, we still have a bunch of kills, good bit of assists. I don't even want to use my ultimate on that, and I'm not going to. We did have our ultimate there, which would have, of course, guaranteed the kill of the Sparrow. But with my team here, I honestly felt it was pretty guaranteed to start with. Now, against the AI, as soon as you get one inhibitor down, the game becomes a lot easier. However, we are going to lose a tier 2 for this, which is really not good, especially against the AI. So we need to pull back. There's a little too much AI heat on us specifically. Ooh. I don't necessarily want to retreat fully, because we do have our ultimate. Yeah, that's probably gonna kill us. No, we got it, and we got out. Alright, excellent. That was just what we needed. And we might even get that inhibitor down because of it. So, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to pick up this, because I want to survive just a little bit more. As soon as we finish that card, we're going to sell our Madstone gem. And that's going to allow us to get right into the thick meat of our offensive card for the late game. See, Iggy there was able to just auto-target me. No regular player would be able to do that. In my opinion. Right, he was in the middle of using his ultimate, but he was able to swing around and hit me with it, even though I was using my ability to jump around him. I don't know why this cat just keeps spamming attack or prime. Alright. I mean, I will attack or prime, but I'm not going to be able to solo it. Alright, I guess this person wants to go on prime. I honestly think this is probably going to get us killed. Yep. See, I don't understand what that person was thinking, but they would not stop spamming it for some reason. Oh, that's cool. They have an instant replay on death now. Yay. And of course, our first death of the game comes like way at the at the end.
An enemy has been slain.
Either way, we're gonna sell our Madstone gem. It was there for a little while, but honestly, where we're against the AI and we're growing so fast, it's understandable that we wouldn't be able to keep it around, and we already have almost the same amount of power from it. However, we're losing our tier 2s because this Countess is just sitting there not moving. And now we're losing an inhibitor because no one is defending it.
Enemy tower destroyed.
And we really need to not do that. But the problem is the right lane is getting pushed. I should be able to rotate back to right after we defend this. Alright, good. Alright, good. Sparrow's already there. Good job. I still feel like we're down a person. Oh, Shimby's dead. Okay. See, this is the problem, right? We're all playing... Well, they're all playing extremely squishy backline characters. I'm the only one who even gets to pretend to be a frontline tank. even then, I would argue she's not really frontline as much as she is support off tank. Icky should definitely be in a range of this. That was bullcrap. So we definitely need to just join up and make a combined push. Because as players, we have the innate advantage of just not being as poor as the PCs are when it comes to actually delivering. In theory. But my team doesn't seem to want to come to where I am. But that's fine. I think we're still getting a pretty good showcase of Aurora's abilities. That Orb Prime death was stupid. But that person really wanted to try Orb Prime, I guess. And the other people just weren't going to rotate that way. Woo! That is a crazy ball of death metal. Oh my god. See, our Shimmy player is dying a lot. They are running into fights they have no right getting just really heavily committed into. But we're not here to discuss how Shimmy plays in this video, at least. Alright, we actually missed with that. That's terrible. So we need to back. We have a big clump of minions on the right side, which is really good for us. That, and they might even be able to take down that inhibitor. We're gonna pick up that mana. But it sucks that we're getting pushed down this far. It's just not something I like to see when playing against the AI. But again, we really have no survivability or frontline support. Like, we don't have any of the tankier characters. But I think it's going alright. I think it's pretty good. At least everyone's still in the game, which is more than I can see for most of the time I end up playing against the AI. People just get bored and quit. So you can see our basics are hitting minion waves for 104 swing. That's not terrible. Again, her minion clear isn't like amazing. We're not on the level of, say, a howitzer or an Iggy. For sure. But we're definitely good. I don't know where my team is though, like I can't really see the minimap honestly because I'm very far away from it. We should be able to kill the Scrux, no problem.
Enemy has been slain.
I want this green buff for the shield. Awesome. I want to get back in the middle right away. Hopefully this will be good. Oh my god, really? Why do you want to attack World Prime? Don't get me wrong, I would love to have Prime buff. Alright, well, Shimby's going there too. So, I guess as long as we have 3 of us, we might have a chance. Oh, and Squibbless is there too. So I'm healing for 26 points a swing, which is pretty good. Let's just hold kill attack that clone instead. With this team, we should be able to down Orb Prime fairly quickly. Because of just the sheer amount of burst damage we have. Hopefully we won't lose all of our inhibitors for this. Alright, so we have the Centurion. So right now we're super tanky. They should be attacking right lane. We also didn't spend our card points there. That wasn't smart of me. But honestly, our inhibitor was under attack and I just wanted to defend. So while we're near our minions, those purple glory minions are receiving the Orb Prime buff from our Centurion card. And they're going to be getting a bonus to their maximum health. Alright, let's just kill Gadget. Because I'm tired of dealing with that. Iggy's here, but honestly, Iggy isn't too big of a concern of mine. Especially with our companion here, it should be. Excellent. We want to get back by the minions then. Every time we're away from our minions, they have less health and will start dying. We want to use this Orb Prime buff to push, and it's just not been a thing that's going on. So I definitely think Aurora could do a lot of... If you build Aurora for really, really high burst damage and good attack speed, I think she could be excellent at soloing Orb Prime, especially if you build a little bit of lifesteal into that. But see, here's the problem, right? We get to this point, Gadget comes out, blows her load, and the minion wave I've been babysitting is basically dead. No, it is dead. Because I had no one helping to push it with me, I'm getting absolutely no inhibitor damage done. At all. So we took Orb Prime, and then did nothing with it, even against the AI. Which is really not good. Because we definitely should have been able to do something with that. There was a weird glitch with that as well there. We're just gonna be able to walk away because he got rooted. But he's still chasing us, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I also appear to be the only person who brought wards to the fight. Alright, we're able to defend that inhibitor. We're gonna back. Spend these card points. But like... Oh, okay, Twin Blast quit. Okay, so there's a reason that we didn't do anything with that Orb Prime, and we're probably going to lose. because without a full team, especially in a situation where we had such a shitty team composition to begin with, I just don't see us being able to push out a win. We would need to get pretty lucky. Oh, yeah, always has that ultimate. There we go. But see, even killing 3 of the enemies, we're just not gonna get anything pushed. I need to go right lane and help that ball of minions. That's what I need to do. If this person goes there with me, this would be perfect. Because even if Grux shows up, the 2 of us will be able to just burst him down like crazy.
An allied inhibitor is under attack.
But the other players definitely need to defend that left lane. Ah, damn it. So, it definitely looks like Grux is over here on me, which is not good. However, we have more than enough minions in here to destroy them. In fact, we probably have enough minions to push the 4 if Gak wasn't about to be alive. I don't even think my ultimate got off there. It did not. However, we're losing the ally core. What? Okay, I want out of the instant replay, please. How do I see this? Because it's just glitching. Thank you. That was really obnoxious. So our core almost got knocked down to 50%. That's not good. Yeah, it's not good at all. Alright, so we're actually gonna pick up the regular Domina now because we need the bonus 10% damage to minions to try and clear the super minions that'll be coming down the left lane. Because what we need to do now is actually push that left lane out. However, the Countess and Shimby are both... Well, Shimby's alright now. But the Countess is just way behind in levels. The Countess has also not bought a single card. And that person was spamming to attack Orb Prime when they've spent 0 card points. Oh, what the what fresh kind of fuckery is that, yo? Alright, well, I got in there, used my ultimate, and almost died. So this is probably where we lose. Oh, I didn't use the ultimate. Never mind, there's a chance we'll survive. No, we're gonna lose. No, it's gone. Well, we lost against the AI, But we also had a team of nothing but carries and one offlane support. And one of our mages, the one mage we have for mid, never bought a single card. And one of our carries quit. So I would argue that was still a pretty good example of just how strong Aurora is. Yeah, especially at the end there where I just wiped out everything attacking the core. Uh, I wish I could have shown you all better footage, but unfortunately the people who play Paragon suck and draft poorly and just quit matches. Uh, that might sound very negative, but it's only because I'm honestly just very, very upset with it. Because it's happened a lot. To the point where many of my past streams have been almost strictly playing against the AI because I can't find a team to actually play PvP. Where players don't quit, rage quit, or just draft horribly and then lose and feed. But that's not the purpose of this video, and it's not something I'm gonna rant about because I want to stay positive about the game. And this has all been a positive look at Aurora. I hope everyone had fun with that. I will be back with the Countess video, hopefully sometime in the next week. Please comment down below if you found this video helpful or anything at all, or if you just want to discuss Paragon or any other game. I'm super into it. I want to thank you all for coming by. Have a fantastic day.